当地时间9月16号上午，国家主席习近平在撒马尔罕国宾馆会见伊朗总统莱西。习近平指出，中伊传统友好，两国关系经受住国际风云变幻考验，巩固和发展中伊全面战略伙伴关系是我们的共同战略选择。中方从战略高度和长远角度看待中伊关系，愿同伊方加强战略沟通和协调，推动两国关系不断取得新进展。习近平强调，中方支持伊方维护国家主权和民族尊严，愿同伊方一道维护不干涉内政原则，维护发展中国家共同利益。双方应积极落实两国全面合作计划，积极开展共建“一带一路”合作，打造更多合作成果。欢迎伊方参与全球发展倡议和全球安全倡议。中方祝贺伊方即将成为上海合作组织正式成员，愿在上合组织框架内加强协调和合作。中方将继续建设性参与伊朗核问题全面协议恢复履约谈判，支持伊方维护正当合法权益。莱西表示，伊中传统友谊深厚，双方关系具有重要战略意义。伊方坚定致力于同中国加强各领域合作、各层次交流，发展伊中全面战略伙伴关系。伊方坚信，在习近平主席英明领导下，中国将有力维护国家主权和领土完整，实现建设现代化国家的伟大目标。感谢中方在国际事务中秉持公平正义。伊方即将成为上海合作组织正式成员，这将有利于伊中加强在国际和地区多边框架内合作。伊方支持共建“一带一路”倡议、全球发展倡议、全球安全倡议，愿同中方深入合作，坚持真正的多边主义。
Chinese President Xi Jinping underscored the strong impetus and resilience of the cooperation among China, Russia, and Mongolia. President Xi noted the three countries have worked together to deal with the COVID-19 pandemic, maintained economic and trade exchanges, and made notable progress in developing a cross-border highway network. Xi Jinping made 4 proposals for future cooperation. He called for deeper political trust and respect for each other's core interests, and stronger coordination in international and regional affairs. He said they should enhance cooperation within the framework of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization and jointly build a platform to address risks and challenges. He proposed a deeper cooperation in economy, trade, culture, and tourism, and continued efforts to build a high-quality exchange platform for businesses. And he invited more financial institutions from Russia and Mongolia to join the RMB cross-border payment system to strengthen regional financial security. Russian President Vladimir Putin noted that Russia-China-Mongolia trilateral cooperation has made significant progress. As close neighbors, Putin said the three countries should understand and support each other, including support for businesses from the three countries. And he called for more cooperation in transportation, logistics, energy, high technology, tourism, and people-to-people exchanges. Mongolian President Ruhanaya Hurilasov said his country is willing to strengthen communication with China and Russia and promote cooperation in trade, investment, environment, energy, railway, and tourism. The three sides confirmed a 5-year extension of a plan to build an economic corridor, launched a feasibility study to upgrade railway links, and agreed to push ahead with.
周三晚间，习近平离开哈萨克斯坦，抵达乌兹别克斯坦的撒马尔罕市。周四，俄罗斯总统普京也抵达撒马尔罕。周四，在上海合作组织峰会上，俄罗斯总统普京称，他理解习近平对乌克兰局势的疑问和担忧，说中共领导人采取了平衡立场。普京还说，在能源方面欢迎与中国和蒙古合作。之前有消息称，普京可能推动与中方敲定西伯利亚力量2号项目协议，将俄罗斯天然气穿越蒙古输送到中国。克里姆林宫称，在俄乌战争以来，莫斯科与西方关系紧张之际，这次上合峰会期间，中俄两国首脑会面尤其重要。中国明确拒绝批评俄罗斯入侵乌克兰，而俄罗斯在美中因台湾问题关系紧张之际，强烈支持中共。据悉，习近平普京会面将讨论乌克兰和台湾问题。 关系到欧亚未来局势发展，外界格外关注。与此同时，俄罗斯国防部周四宣布，俄中军队在太平洋举行联合军事演习。声明说，两国军舰在太平洋以及鄂霍次克海周围进行了巡逻，并计划进行一次炮兵演习。新唐人电视台记者李梅、江迪亚综合报道。
在涉及俄罗斯核心利益或一些重大关切问题上，中方也是对俄罗斯也是表示理解和充分的支持。就像现在的乌克兰问题，那么美国和北约直接逼到俄罗斯的家门口，那么在这种情况下，俄罗斯认为是应当采取的一些措施，中方是表示理解，而且从不同的方面给予策应。
中共官方始终在俄乌战争的表态上保持中立。栗战书作为党内第3号人物，这次表态被认为是北京对俄罗斯做出最有力的支持性发言。
什么叫策应呢？让我们不得不想起来说，中共在俄乌战争之前就帮着这个俄罗斯打掩护，故意呢不撤侨。还有呢，在战争爆发之后，中共呢也帮着俄罗斯是传播谎言。那么现在看起来呢，这一切其实都在证明说，中共呢确实是在帮着俄罗斯在侵略，也就是在所谓的不同方面的一种策应。
但有意思的是，栗战书的这段话并没有出现在中共官媒新华社的报道中。此次在杜马的谈话被曝光，引发俄罗斯是否刻意向中方施压的猜想。
普京的意图看起来就很明显，他就是要将这个习近平一军让世界看清楚，在乌克兰这件事情上，中共跟俄罗斯是站在一起的，一条绳上的蚂蚱，在同一个战壕里边，同一架战车上。
与此同时，习近平于14号对哈萨克斯坦展开旋风般访问，疑似响应中方要求，现场迎接人员全员佩戴口罩，而其更是在下飞机时脚出现打滑，险些跌倒。不知出于何因，中共喉舌央视在报道时，主播全程念稿，似乎刻意省去了现场画面。15号，习近平与普京在乌兹别克斯坦参加区域峰会并举行会谈。习近平在会面中表示，北京准备与莫斯科一起发挥大国作用，为动荡的世界注入所谓的稳定和正能量。新唐人电视台记者韩飞综合报道。
Girlfriend, he can betray me, but he can't betray my motherland as she splits with boyfriend. Recently, a blogger shared a story of why she had to break up with her lover, causing netizens to pay attention. She published a complaint that she accidentally hummed the national anthem and her boyfriend hummed along with her, but he sang the wrong lyrics in the 5th sentence. He's not the enemy Secret Service personnel. Is it him? How could he sing the wrong song from childhood to adulthood? And bluntly said, he can betray me, but he can't betray my motherland. She then reported to the police, suspecting her boyfriend was an enemy spy. Netizens also enthusiastically left comments. They think that the blogger is very alert and an excellent patriotic girl. According to the source from NetEase, the blogger chose to break up. The police investigation shows that the blogger's boyfriend was not an enemy spy, but he posted many spoof photos on Twitter and was criticized and educated by the police. Shanghai people reflect older man died. Nucleic acid code updates continued. According to Chinese media, a Shanghai resident nicknamed Xiao Yu recently saw a nucleic acid test sheet on social media. Xiao Yu said, "The elderly in our family passed away in the Central Hospital of Yangpu District, Shanghai on August 3, 2022. Xiao Yu's family was surprised to find that the older man's nucleic acid code was still being updated. He said, "It is so irresponsible. Where did you make the nucleic acid?" The Shanghai rumor-refuting platform learned that the relevant nucleic acid samples came from an orphanage in Yangpu where there were 2 older adults with the same name, one of whom passed away. The welfare home failed to process 2 older adults' paper nucleic acid codes correctly. Still, the regularly updated nucleic acid test results were for the living older person. The orphanage contacted the family of the deceased and apologized. The articles also highlighted the authorities must investigate the matter to stop irresponsible and sloppy work. Salvage of China's largest ancient shipwreck surprises. As the Global Times on September 13th reports, more than 600 artifacts were found when archaeologists salvaged the Yangtze River Estuary No. 2. It is the largest wooden shipwreck in China. The Yangtze River Estuary No. 2 was a sailing ship from the reign of the Tongxi Empire of the Qing Dynasty 1644 to 1911. Experts say that the ceramic artifacts discovered in the ship are in good condition. They were goods traded in the port of Shanghai, one of the famous destinations of the maritime Silk Road. This place is where European merchants frequented during the Qing Dynasty. Liu Zheng, an archaeologist at the Chinese Academy of Cultural Relics, said that the number of artifacts recovered from the shipwreck surprised researchers. More valuable artifacts from it may be found soon.
习近平与普丁15号在中亚乌兹别克举行会面，两方共有超过近20人，彼此距离都相当远。以目测来看，普丁与习近平之间相隔超过10人的距离。虽然习近平见面后称普丁老朋友，但从双方对外公开的声明看，这两人相互认可的地方很少。
Понимаем ваши вопросы, ваши озабоченности на этот счет. В ходе сегодняшней встречи, конечно, подробно разъясним нашу позицию по этому вопросу.
普丁主动提到乌克兰议题，然而习近平只是泛泛地说，中方愿同俄方合作。另外，在中共官媒新华社的普习会报道只字未提乌克兰。在台湾问题上，普丁批评美国在台海地区的行动，还说支持一个中国政策。习近平说，任何国家都无权做台湾问题的裁判官。
I think they have similar interests. They both crave world domination. They both believe in anything that's not democracy and anything that's not capitalism.
美国退役将军斯伯丁表示，为确保国家安全，美国政府应该树立强大的政治意愿去解决中共这个对手。他认为应该敢于与中共脱钩。
Putin should have never invaded Ukraine. Xi will invade Taiwan. I think it's a huge mistake, but I think he's going to do it anyway. And I think it comes from the hubris of totalitarianism and the inability of very autocratic governments. If we just let things go the way they are, America will become like China.
新唐人亚太电视李兰、保罗·格雷尼联合报道。